Hi Craig,
Hi mate.
how are you doing?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Good, good. So you're a coach at Phoenix Fire ABC in Warrington.
Yeah.
You was at Astley VIP with me, wasn't you?
Yeah.
What's your background in boxing?
So my background with boxing is I started off actually training one of my friends to get fit. He wanted to start boxing, and I was doing that for a bit. And he said to me like, "Why don't you just coach amateur? Because you enjoy doing it. Why don't you go to a gym and doing it?" And I thought, I don't really know that much about boxing because I come from the wrestling and MMA background. And then I joined Frankie Bird at his own little fitness gym, and I just went to him and said, I don't know much about the boxing side of it, but I'd like to train some lads there, and took them up to Astley to spar. And Damien Jones turned around and said, if you coach here, we'll put you through all your badges and pay for it all. So I leaped at the chance to do it from.
But have you been a boxing fan then?
Yeah, I've always been a boxing fan from a younger age. My dad's massive into boxing and combat sport, so I've always grown up around combat sport, like watching Mike Tyson and stuff like that, Lennox Lewis, so I've always watched that.
And you've got your pro licence as well as your amateur, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've got me, it's my second I've got for the pros, but I'm going to stick to the amateurs, I think, more than the pros now.
And what is it about boxing, Craig, that you love?
I think because it's like there's so many different things. Like obviously it's one sport, but there's so many different styles, different methods, different tactics, different techniques. It's all like nobody's really wrong. It's all opinions on how to train people and also what it does for the lads, like how it physically and mentally makes them as well.
And which boxers have you enjoyed? You've worked with quite a few, obviously I know you have. Which ones have you really enjoyed working with? Not to pick anyone out, but
I was going to say it's quite bad to say some names. Like I remember the first person that I worked with was Kai Pennington. I think his record was like lost 3 and won 2, something like that. And I worked with him, and I think for him to win his first Northwest title, I think that was probably one of my best achievements, because I never had somebody to win a title or anything before, and then it was up from there to Kyle Monte, who obviously won the Northern Belt, and obviously to where he is as a pro. But there's Larry, there's Luke, there's Ethan, there's so many.
You spent a lot of time with Harry as well, Harry Winard.
Yeah, Harry Winard, Jerry. Again with him, we went to Monkstown with him. First time he went to Monkstown, and he won gold. So that was a massive achievement. I think Harry's always been one of my favourites to coach in and out of the ring.
And going to your work at Phoenix now, when a young boxer comes into the gym, what do you think they should work on first?
So my philosophy, if you want to call it that, has always been like building a house. You should start from the ground up, so you always should be the footwork, make sure they're moving correctly, and then build it up. Because most people, to learn to throw a punch correctly, it doesn't take them long, but the footwork, it's got to be muscle memory, so you've got to, my belief is you've got to drill it in straight away. It's got to be up on balance all the time, because if you're not on balance, there's no good showing someone to throw a jab if they're not in correct stance, not correct balance. There's no point throwing anything, and they can't defend anything if their feet are all over the place. So for me, it's always feet and work all the way up then.
And how long, normally when someone comes in the gym, how long will it be till I can spar?
Yeah.
Is there a set programme, or?
I think because so many different people take it up quickly and some people take it up slowly. And also I know like some gyms where they won't let you compete unless you've been there for a whole year. So you have to be there for a whole year before they even get you a match. Where some gyms you could be in there for 2 months, 3 months, and they could be right, you're ready to get a medical card and ready to box. So it varies with the person, really. Yeah.
And when boxers train, what do you think that they often fail to work on?
I would say, I don't know if it's just my philosophy, but I'll say footwork. I think it's like, you look at really good gyms, they're all footwork, like Steel City, they had a lot of national champions, Dalton Smith, he's now a pro, he's a good pro, they're all footwork based, like Sheffield kids are all footwork based. So I think a lot of people neglect it, like a lot of people, which they're right in doing, I'm not saying it's wrong, is do like a lot of defence and catching shots and stuff like that, and slipping shots, which is good. But again, I always think it's got to be your feet. It should be every session that you're in, you should do something wrong with your feet.
Yeah. And how do you view talent versus commitment?
Yeah, it's got. I mean, you can have the person who's the most talented person ever, but if they're not commitment, you're wasting your time basically. So
it's so frustrating to watch someone who has got that talent,
yeah,
but the fitness isn't, the engine isn't there.
Yeah,
is it?
and it's a shame because you'll never be able to force it onto them to get that commitment and force them to work that hard. So you just got to take it for what it is and do what you best, what you can do, that talent, and teach them methods how to survive, like holding and stuff like that, and wasting a bit of time and more feints and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very. I think you got to go with people who are committed more than the talent.
And is it important to get the level of training right so you're not overtrained? And what's the values of nutrition, do you think, in amateur boxing?
I think it's hard because when you got like a young boxer, it's hard to say to them when they're growing, right, you need to cut down on weight because they need to grow. They're growing lad or girl, so they've got to be eating. So when it's younger, I wouldn't be that forceful of making weight. You are what you are when you're a kid. I think it's only when you come to a senior or towards a senior that you should start looking at your nutrition then and stuff like that, about making weight and stuff like that. To me, it's like when you're like 13, 14, maybe when you're 15 and 16, yeah, start looking at them. But when you're below 15, I'd say you are what you weigh. Don't be cutting weight and stuff like that. You're still growing.
And how do you think boxing helps people?
Massively. I think even just for like confidence. I mean, with a boxing gym, you can probably speak to most coaches and they've had somebody who's come in who's been bullied at school, and the confidence, like, and then like Cade, for example, Astley, he came in, he wouldn't talk to anybody, who's such a shy person. I'm not saying he was bullied outside school, I don't know what he's doing, but he's very quiet. Towards after a year and 2 years, you see what he's like. He's confident, he's coming in talking to people, and also how they hold themselves. So I think it has a massive effect on like the confidence mentally and stuff like that. Definitely.
And just finally, who's your favourite boxer and your favourite coach?
So my favourite boxer's always been, well, he's retired now, is Floyd Mayweather. Again, I think he's his legend defence. But at the moment, it's got to be Lomachenko. I think he's, again, footwork. He's built with his footwork. He makes everybody box his style. Like, no matter what style you've got, you're going to box his fight. And for the coach, it's got to be his dad, Papachenko. I think what he did with Usyk, with the national amateur team, Ukraine's went in 2012 and won gold medal. So
yeah, it shows he can teach his style. That Usyk's got it as well as
yeah,
Lomachenko.
that's it. Yeah, and what he did with the Olympic team, the Ukraine, they went and a few of them won gold and did well. His philosophy behind it, and like I've watched his Lomachenko's interview with Teddy Atlas, where he's on about his dad's training methods that he did when he was younger, and it's all to put in place for where he's at now. And it's just, again, just so mentally, like what he's done for his son. People just think boxing, you go into the gym and it's just fitness and stuff, but it's so much of it's mentally as well. It's unbelievable.
Well, cheers for that, Craig, and it's nice to talk to him because you put as much commitment in as the boxers do, don't you? And it's unpaid, so we're doing it for the love of the sport.
Yeah, of course.
And I hope you carry on enjoying it.
Cheers, thanks a lot.